thousands of years in the future, we have multiple kingdoms called governments with their own forms of currency. Some against the value of gold, the other to an arbitrary standard from debt. I don't really know how that works. Because if we're all in... Sorry, Q. Sorry, you were saying Q?
Please continue.
Oh, okay.
Continue.
It's fucking amazing.
Oh, you're dead. No, with debt. If we're all in debt with something, who are we indebted to? But that's a question for another time. Anyway, since all our currencies are backed by one way or another through a kingdom or government, suddenly a new person shows up. They're called Dogecoin, more specifically Bitcoin. And instead of being set by the gold standard, they are set by a arbitrary decimal stating that there can only be X amount of Bitcoins in existence of the world, essentially creating its own rarity.
It'll only be like 10-15 minutes, Theo. Just stay.
No, I gotta get up at about 7.
Excuse me.
6:37.
Isn't that when
We're listening to Deckard
everyone
Cain
gets up?
explain the economy. Can we please be quiet?
Before I was...
I gotta be driving for a couple of hours.
Okay.
Where was I?
Good night.
Oh yes, the rarity and the artificial rarity created by Bitcoin. It removes essentially the middleman, which is government. Not to say that they're getting a cut. Even if they are, sometimes it's harder to manage. But it needs to be managed, or else nefarious things can be done. So we have ourselves a currency, untraceable, inherently rare, and cannot be altered or changed, and essentially immune to inflation. Because, of course, while some promises are more expensive than others, it can drop to a point where your pieces of paper are more valuable as a brick rather than buying bread. So the black market got in on that shit very quickly.
I'm not sure Deckard Cain would have said that.
I'm 100% sure that's what he was said.
It's like it came right from the writers of Diablo.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Now, I had a point somewhere here. I'm trying to find it again. Oh, yes. So we have ourselves a promise that is not like through government, but through persons. From person to person, funded and essentially controlled by the internet itself.
I think you already said
And some
this.
people-
Now, let's all ask ourselves, what happens when people start to create their own little economies? Well, we've had examples of this where Kanye West and Dogecoin fell under,
Can we summon
And-
people?
and the Nasdaq popped up a month and then faded into obscurity.
Can we see if Claude and
I PSD'd him, he's AFK.
So yes, long and the short of it, economies and crypto economies are quite similar. You have the mighty US dollar, and then you have the Zimbabwe $1 trillion. Some
Amelia,
are
can we have a closet?
Yes, let's move on.